Let's take a look at using VocAlign Pro 6 in Ableton Live. Now, although I'm using VocAlign Pro for this tutorial, a lot of what I'm saying can also be applied to VocAlign Standard. So let's dive in. Okay, so I've got a set of vocal tracks over here. Let's have a quick listen.
I'd fight all your fire, carry your pain until it's lighter. If I could, I would cry all your teardrops, wash them away, lift you up higher. If I could, I would take your place.
Okay, so overall, not a bad performance, but we definitely need to tighten up the timing. And in addition to that, we need to take care of the tuning. This is something that we're going to do with a brand new feature in VocAlign 6 Pro, which is called Smart Pitch. We're going to dive into that in a moment. So first things first, we have our main lead vocal track. I've already gone ahead and done a tuning pass, and I'm actually very happy with where the tuning is and the timing. So this is going to be the guide for everything. Now, the way that it works in Ableton Live is a little bit different in other DAWs that support ARA. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the plugin section, and under the Synchro Arts folder over here, I'm going to drag and drop an instance of VocAlign Pro 6 to both of the vocal tracks that I want to be applied to. So let's go ahead and close this, and we'll drag one over here. And now essentially what we need to do is we need to make sure that we assign the proper sidechain. So I'm going to select the male lead vocal track over here, and under the sidechain, I'm going to choose lead vox female. We're going to do the same thing with this track over here, lead vox female. So now both instances of VocAlign Pro 6 are primed and ready to receive the guide track. The next thing that we need to do is we need to do a capture. And this is something that needs to happen in real time in Ableton. So if I pull up one of these instances over here, so let's bring up this one over here. Notice that we have a brand new updated GUI for VocAlign Pro. We're going to get into this in a little bit, but for now, I'm going to hold down the Shift key and I'm going to choose the capture option, and this will prime capture for both instances of VocAlign Pro. So now just make sure that we head back to the beginning and let's press play. Now, as you can see, VocAlign has already processed the outputs for these tracks, and we're essentially ready for playback. So let's just mute the background harmony for a moment, and let's focus on the main lead vocals over here.
I'd fight all your fire, carry your pain until it's lighter. If I could, I would cry all your teardrops, wash them away.
Okay, so it's done an amazing job. We have a scroll bar that we can click, hold, and drag to reposition if you want to focus on a very particular area. And we also have these drag handles, so if you wanted to zoom in on a very specific section, that's something that's very easy to do. Now, also another change that we see with VocAlign 6 Pro is we have the ability to show or hide these different panels. So for example, let's say you were only working with the timing, then all you would have to do is activate this match timing feature. Also, while we're here, let's go ahead and toggle this switch off and take note of the timing shift that takes place. You can see the overlay in yellow and the purple trace of the waveform. As I enable this match timing, and we're being quite aggressive with this, this has knocked that into perfect timing. Now also, let's bring in the pitch just for a quick moment, and I'm going to swap over to the show pitch area over here. Now, as you can see with VocAlign Pro, we have the ability to match the timing, which we've done, but in addition to that, this match pitch option is using the nearest octave. So our male lead vocal is being aligned pitch-wise against the female lead vocal. Watch what happens if I take the pitch off for a moment. This is the original pitch trace of the male lead vocal. We can scroll all the way across over here. And then as I enable the pitch, you'll see that this is conforming to the female lead vocal's performance in terms of timing and pitch. So that is it in terms of the first two. They have already been done. Let's take a look at this last one over here. I'm going to select the harmony track, and let's actually activate this for a moment. And let's bring up the plugin GUI. This harmony track, I actually want to process this a little bit different. I'm going to choose a very specific preset as a starting point, which makes use of the new Smart Pitch feature that was added to VocAlign 6 Pro. So let's choose this option over here. And take note, in terms of our timing, this is set to 33. Let's go back to our main display over here. I'm going to actually just push this all the way. So this will conform this timing so that it's really tight with the harmony across the board. Notice that if I take this off and I bring it back, you'll see everything just snapping into place. But now with respect to the match pitch, this is really interesting because what this is doing with this Smart Pitch mode, essentially we have three different options, match unison and tune non-unison. What's happening is that this vocal performance is being tuned 100% based on the sung performance relative to the nearest semitone. So watch what happens over here. If I take match pitch off, it's subtle. We'll just have a slight change, but notice if we let's just zoom out a little bit. We'll adjust these drag handles. Take note of what happens when I choose this option. It's very subtle, but it's just knocking that harmony perfectly into place tuning-wise. Now we've matched the timing and the tuning of everything. Let's have a quick listen.
I'd fight all your fire, carry your pain until it's lighter. If I could, I would cry all your teardrops, wash them away, lift you up higher. If I could, I would take your place.
Now, the important thing to note here is that we are actually listening to the cached output of VocAlign Pro or VocAlign Standard. So one thing to keep in mind is that if you wanted to do any further editing or manipulate this audio any further, it's a really good idea to actually freeze and flatten these tracks. So that's what I'm going to do as my final step. I'm going to right click, we'll choose the option to freeze track, and then I'm going to actually flatten this track. So basically what we're doing here is we are just rendering all these changes into the actual audio performances. Now, we don't have an instance of VocAlign Pro on this main one because we used the sidechain input. So now with everything said and done, let's cut to the before really quickly.
I'd fight all your fire, carry your pain until it's lighter. If I could, I would cry all your teardrops, wash them away, lift you up higher. If I could, I would take your place.
And now let's listen to our final result, and we'll make sure that the music is brought in for context.
I'd fight all your fire, carry your pain until it's lighter. If I could, I would cry all your teardrops, wash them away, lift you up higher. If I could, I would take your place.
So that's using VocAlign 6 Pro with Ableton Live. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll catch you in the next video.